Hi guys, guys and gals. This is Chet here from Avion Technology here in the Chicagoland area. We are a digital agency that works with a lot of other digital agencies. So today's video is about UI UX and how and basically about improving customer retention when you are doing UI UX, right? So who is the target audience for this video? It's essentially a smallish agency, usually between 500,000 to a million in terms of annual revenue. And most of you probably do your UI UX in-house, right? And probably most of your clients are small businesses, so it's B2B, but your clients are smaller businesses. Most of them are looking at their current website to kind of help them increase sales, improve revenue, generate leads. So today I'm going to talk about how you can create UI UX to increase customer retention. Not a lot, just a couple of points, right? I'm actually going to start with the last point first, which is that whenever you are designing any design, always think about the taxonomy, right? The hierarchy of how you are going to place things. Extremely important, right? So even before you open your Figma file or even before you start designing, right, always start with the taxonomy in mind, because essentially a homepage or a website is like a book, and a book has chapters, and you don't start writing like from the first chapter, right? You kind of arrange those chapters. This is going to be the first chapter, this is going to be the second chapter. So you have kind of hierarchy in mind. You have kind of a hierarchy of how you're going to lay out the content before you start writing. So similarly, you need to have a visual hierarchy of the website in mind before you start designing. So always remember the taxonomy, right? That's the starting point. Number one, couple of calls to action, right? Your website needs to do something, right? It needs to tell the customer, okay, know more, or click here to buy. So you need to have really clear calls to action, because that's what is going to get the user to actually go ahead and do some action, right? So one of the things that has happened in the last 5-10 years is that people's attention spans have become really small. So no one has the time to actually go and figure out things, right? Everyone wants an amazing experience, everyone wants an amazing journey, and no one wants to figure out things by themselves, right? They need science, they need extremely well laid out structures so that they can enjoy the most of their experience. So make sure you have really clear calls to action which tell the customer, this is what you do, this is where you go, this is the button that you click, this is the form that you fill out. So make sure you have very clear calls to action. Number two, have a very clear navigation, right? So the top nav or the side nav, whatever, however the nav bar might be, or even the navigation within the site might be. Make sure it's very clear, it's very simple, it's very intuitive, right? There's something called the 2 clicks rule. So a user should be able to get to their content within 2 clicks, right? Keep that in mind, and if you can make that within 1 click, that's even better. But keep the 2 clicks rule in mind, because it's absolutely important that the user gets to their desired content in as small a time period as possible. The next is page load speed. This is good even for SEO, but it's a very good kind of a website best practice, right? Your page load should be less than 2 seconds, right? Anything more than that, users are generally going to click away. They're going to close the window and they're going to go somewhere else. The page load speed absolutely has to be under 2 seconds. Now there's several ways you can do that. Well, you can test it on GT metrics, right? That's a good place to test your page load speed. But you can minimize the images, minimize the CSS, minimize a lot of the JavaScript. So there's things that you can do to minimize the page load speed, but the page has to load in under 2 seconds. And lastly, this is something that I'm telling you from personal experience. All the areas of your site are not built the same. Okay, there's some areas which have more importance and some which have lesser importance, right? So above the fold is the section that on a standard desktop resolution you can see immediately upon coming to a website, right? That's called above the fold. That's your prime real estate. So whatever it is that you're trying to, your main message has to be above the fold. So your H1 tag, your H2 tag, right? That's the main message that you're trying to put out there with your website. That has to be above the fold. So for example, someone comes to you're a real estate agent, so the purpose of your site is to kind of help your users locate the home of their choice, right? So that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to make your users or your customers come to the website, then do an MLS IDX search, and then find the home of their choice, right? So you have a very simple customer journey. Then a good way to do that would be to have a hero image, right, in the hero section of the kind of customers who usually come to you. It could be a family, mom, dad, 2 kids, a dog. So that's the kind of hero image that you want. And then maybe you need a home search, right there, so that when someone comes, they can immediately kind of click on a form where they can fill in like how many rooms they need, or what's their budget and all that, and then click submit, and then they go to that page. So all of this is above the fold. You don't want to embed that widget like somewhere in the footer, right? No one's going to get to it. So above the fold is your most valuable piece of real estate. Make sure you really use it well. Here at Avion, like I said, we've helped a lot of agencies come up with a lot of good content, a lot of good UI UX. So we can definitely help you. But yeah, this is just a part of our agency series. If you've liked this video, press like. If you want to subscribe, press subscribe. These are my coordinates. If you want to give me a shout, do give me a shout. The key takeaway from this video is that design is extremely important, right, for customer retention. We live in extremely distracted times, so you have to make sure your page loads really quickly, and that you have clear calls to action, that you've really thought about the taxonomy, the hierarchy of how you're going to place things. Make sure that your key content is above the fold, and most importantly, make sure that a user can get to their desired content in as few clicks as possible. Again, Chet here from Avion Technology in the Chicagoland area. Today is Wednesday, the middle of the week. So happy Wednesday to you, and I hope you like this video. Thank you so much.